So last week, I had a check from a client bounce on me. So I got the check from the client, I put it in the bank, I deposited it, and money went in, and then money went right back out the next day. I woke up and felt like I had the cologne on called L's. Have you tried the cologne L's?
The new cologne by Calvin Klein called L's. When you have a bounced check, that means you took an L.
But everything worked out okay. Basically, it was a company and they had some miscommunications within their accounting department, but they wired me the money that night, so everything worked out okay, but it could have been a lot worse, right? So I posted about this issue, the situation, on my Instagram and some other places, and some of the feedback that I got about the situation was really interesting. So when I said the word check, a lot of people were like, No, they don't do checks at all. They don't write checks. They don't know who writes checks. They never gotten a check before. But a lot of the income that I bring in as a creative has been through checks, right? So I'm really interested in learning more about the different platforms that everyone has been using when it comes to creating sort of like this connection and receiving funds and sort of collecting funds from your different projects and clients. When I first started out, I only received basically, I'd say PayPal and cash. And that was the only way I was getting paid. And now you're able to get paid in so many different variety of ways. So I'm just gonna break down how I have been getting paid and sort of like the percentages and why I get paid in that way. So the first way that I get paid is through checks. That's like what I usually do. About 70% of my income or the way I collect funds from my clients is through a check or direct deposit. So that is because I do a lot of, these larger institutions, clients, big brands, things like that. And a lot of times they will always do a check or direct deposit. So, a check is, something that I'm used to. Sometimes they have a net 30. And what a net 30 means is that after you do the job, it's 30 days after you sort of complete it that you get paid, the accounting sort of timeline. And then there's net 60, there's net 90, but I usually only do net 30. And for me, the checks also eliminate the fees that are involved when it comes to a lot of the digital platforms when you're sort of receiving money or sending money. Those fees can really add up. But that is another way that I do get paid. So about, I'd say 20% is through these digital platforms. So like PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Square, I do Stripe. So like my online store is tied to PayPal and Stripe. And I also, with clients, here and there type of thing, they'll do Venmo or Cash App. One good thing about it is like, I use a lot of those funds that I get into those accounts for petty cash stuff. But those fees can really add up when you're sort of talking about 2.9%. So 2.9% of, a big job is a lot. That can be like the part you allocate for, supplies. So 2.9% for me is something that kept adding up and adding up over time. And then sometimes you have other fees when you want to sort of move money from here to there. So usually that's why, I basically have been doing checks for a long time. And then the last 10% is just through cash. So getting paid in cash is always good, mainly because it's hard cash. I have it in my hands. I don't have to worry about a bank or, putting in to an account, things like that. I can automatically just use it whenever, but that's like only 10% of the way I sort of bring in income. When I get cash, it's more for like smaller projects here and there for friends, things like that. But people are still moving towards those digital platforms because it's just easy to send money here and there. And lastly, I have not gotten paid in any cryptocurrency. I think that's going to change down the line as sort of it becomes more mainstream and more accessible to different individuals. That is something that I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how that looks in my practice because, the cryptocurrency market goes up and it goes down. So like when you get paid can be, something where it's like it helps you out or it hurts you the next day or the week after. And I know when I was looking into the comment section, reading the comment when I posted up about my situation, a lot of you have been getting paid in cryptocurrency. So that was really interesting for me to hear. But I really want to know exactly what else you guys have been doing because like I said, when I first started out, it's vastly different than what it is today to get paid as an artist in different platforms and how you connect with clients to sort of, receive those funds for a project. And one thing that I really have to say is that there's no right way or super wrong way of sort of collecting payment. It's what's best fit for you and your practice and the clients that you have, because every practice is going to be different. Every sort of project for me is going to be different in the way I collect. Some people I trust more than others. I'm not sort of going to hunt down, a city or a government that I know can sort of write the check versus someone that I just met online and, I'm sort of talking to them remote. So every client is going to be different in how I sort of navigate that way of collecting payment, because the trust is going to be different. So in the comment section, I want you guys to basically just share with myself and other individuals how you guys have been working with clients and working on sort of collecting payments, because there's just so many different sort of avenues out there. So I want that to be sort of like the conversation today, because I felt old taking checks, because a lot of you were like, you don't take checks, you don't know who takes checks. I am grandpa right now, still taking checks, because like I said, I do not get sort of hit with some of those fees, but there's still bank fees in the end. So there's always pros and cons to every sort of payment process, because when you're figuring out ways to sort of exchange money, there's some middle person in there figuring out ways to skim money off the top of your work and you sending money. So definitely share with the community how you guys have been sort of doing it and some of your advice. So hopefully this will help you out today, and I will see you next time. Peace.